as a manager? And we'll wait if they, okay, far back row, sir. Who'd you pick for a manager?
I chose my current boss, a manager at a furniture warehouse. He's the warehouse manager.
And traits?
Intelligence, dominance, and self-confidence, kind of real loud.
Loud.
Kind of, guy from Texas, you know, kind of obnoxious and.
A little stereotype in there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Center row, right here, not behind this gentleman. Either one of you or both. You can fight over it if you wish.
Well, first of all, I'm from Texas.
I was watching her reaction.
You know? I chose my current manager too, and for traits, I said dominance, task-relevant knowledge, and self-confidence. Because,
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much how I would
Okay,
describe
that's
it.
good. Next person, to the left, my left.
We had the same boss at one point,
Oh,
so I went with another manager because I thought we'd do this.
well, did you rate the same person?
No, I rated another one. I figured you'd probably call on both of us.
And
So I rated her as intelligent. When she was intelligent, she'd tell me all kinds of random facts, but when push came to shove, she'd give me task-relevant knowledge,
okay.
honest and integrity. I think I
Okay.
checked all of them. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, the summary, by the way, on page 279 of the traits, I spent some time thinking about these traits. As you know, there are two different, what we call meta-analyses, as I said, that isolated the traits. And when you put them in a list, you see that they overlap, so that I concluded, this is about leaders, not managers. Leaders are bright, honest, self-confident, high-energy people who know something about the situation they are trying to affect and take control when they must. Most of the traits that you had picked for the people you were talking about were similar to what's in that sentence. The difference in leadership is that the individual is usually focused on trying to change the system in some fashion. Each person you described, I read it as a manager. You said it was a manager, but they came across as a manager and not as a leader. So now let's change it. Go to the people that you picked as leaders, and I'm going to ask a different group of people to comment, starting with you, sir.
Okay. I picked Bill Gates. From the traits that I know of: intelligence, drive, knowledge of the business, cognitive ability.
Good. And that's, when you read about Bill Gates, when I read about Bill Gates and observe him, you know, in newscasts and so on, that's the stuff that comes across.
I questioned self-confidence. I don't know if that's an aspect about him.
It's there.
Okay.
He's extremely self-confident. And you know his history, starting here in Albuquerque and all that kind of stuff. He was a pretty geeky looking guy when he was in his 20s. I mean, if you want a stereotype of the geeks working with computers, it looked like he looked it up and deliberately dressed according to that style. Okay, let's come over. You already did. Okay, we'll pick on you, sir. Leader.
I put Barack Obama.
Ah,
I just got a chance to see him at the convention center, and he just has a lot of charisma, and there's just a lot of energy that surrounds him.
energy, charisma,
There's
and
a lot of vision.
yeah, and he comes across that way when I'm watching any of the interviews that they do with him. I don't tend to watch the debates, but just the casual stuff that comes through. All right, we're going to come back over here. Upper row, sir, and the light is right on you. Leader.
I picked George Bush. I said he has self-confidence, drive, and a desire to lead.
True. Okay. I want to come to this woman right here. Leader. I'm sorry I don't know your names. This room is impossible for that. As I told you ITV starts in the Anderson School in 1017 in the fall, so we'll have a much better arrangement. You'll have a familiar location also. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just picked where I was working. There was basically, our group were called Inside Sales, and we did have a designated leader, and so I picked him. His name was Tony, and I think he was a leader. I picked intelligence, dominance, self-confidence, task-relevant knowledge, knowledge of the business, and desire to lead.
Very good, very good. Let's do one more. This gentleman, straight up, not you, sir, up on, yeah, thank you.
I actually picked my high school baseball coach.
Ah,
You know, he's intelligent, sort of dominant. He also had a way to build trust, and his real inspirational vision. But you know where the team was going. He's charismatic.
interesting. And you would, this is an aside, but because of the role of a coach in shaping the direction of a team, that's a leadership role, not a management role. And then you would have other people working for the coach who would take on more of the management tasks, like the travel and the stuff that you have to do. Would you agree with that analysis?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, let me switch this a little bit, and would like you to look at this list of names. And which of these, and I had a lot of fun with this, as you can possibly imagine, in looking at the list. And I recently watched a short section of, where is he? Homer Simpson. It just happened to be a clip that was online that I just had some fun with. But of these, which ones would you say are leaders? And if you don't know who the people are, you can ask me, and I can give you some background and information on them.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King,
Colin Powell.
Colin Powell, and do you know who Colin Powell is?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Oh, well, I don't remember his exact position. He was, he had a very high government.
Yeah, he was a four-star general, and he was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And he started out, of course, I believe he went to the academy, and he comes out as a second lieutenant, and he did quite a bit of battle tours, and he moved up in the ranks extremely fast. Typically, Martin Luther King gets mentioned, and that's, well, how about the others?
Oprah.
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill, Oprah Winfrey? Are you sincere about that? You're not just pulling our leg, right?
About Oprah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I did on my phone.
Oh, it's on,
I didn't see her on the list, I just like thought of it.
just thought of it, okay. And she's nominated often. And why? What is it about Oprah Winfrey that makes her a leader as far as you are concerned?
Well, you said it's someone who's trying to make a change, and every time you turn around, she's trying to change something or another.
Every time you turn around. No, she, if you know her background, it's pretty bad stuff when she was growing up and all that. So she's had to take charge of her life and manage a whole batch of stuff and built an empire that is simply extraordinary. Now, how about Joe Torres? You know who that is? You should know.
He's
The
a
baseball player.
daughter's
Yeah, he's a former coach, and he's. I have the right person. I think he's now engaged in quite a bit of business. He's got his own business. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to emphasize with you is the role of human perception in declaring an individual as a leader. So I'm going to show you some photographs of real people, and I'm disguising them so that you do not know exactly what they do, or try to disguise them so that you don't know exactly what they do or who they are. So we'll start with this individual, and get as tight a shot, I guess that is as tight as you can get. How do you perceive, this is a real person whom I know. Leader or manager?
Manager.
Agree? Well, he used to be my neighbor, but he and his family have since moved, I believe, to California. And I have to look at it. It's Ray Sokola. He was the general manager of Motorola here in Albuquerque. Now, his title is manager, but he holds, at the time he left Albuquerque, he held 27 patents dealing with cellular phone technology. And he was one of the people that had a big role in the development of cellular phone technology. So there's Ray. I've got quite a collection here, of course. You have to go pull it back, the camera out a little bit, Matt. Okay. Manager or leader? This is not an examination. Go on, relax. It's our last day together. Let's have some fun.
Leader.
Why?
Alright, well, the picture's kind of deceiving. I don't know. She looks friendly.
She looks friendly, did you say?
Yeah, she's got flowers around her, you know.
Yeah, she's got, it's the reason she has a lot of flowers around her. Come on, guys. What do you think? Manager or leader?
I have no idea.
No, perception. Yeah, you do have an idea.
It could be
You
either
really
or
do.
Both, I don't know.
Pardon?
It could be either or both. I don't know. How could you judge by
How are we
looking at
supposed
her?
to base it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, up there. I couldn't hear you.
Me?
No, whoever spoke and I couldn't hear. Oh, right
How
there.
are we supposed to base our judgment on is really nothing to go by? She could be anything. She could be homeless. It doesn't mean she couldn't be a leader and be homeless. I guess that's true. I mean, we're not gonna get anything out of the pictures.
Okay, we'll see. She is Ruth Owais, Chief Executive Officer of Calyx and Corolla, which is a flower thingy. So she, and her reputation is quite strong, by the way. All right? You possibly know who this person is. I don't know. Leader or manager? You know who it is? Nobody recognizes him? Well, he's not in the press as much as he used to be, and I don't have his it written down here, so I have forgotten myself exactly who he is, which is it'll come to me in a moment. But the best one, I think, is this one. What is your perception from this picture? Go a little bit wider, and so they can see the type of dress that she's wearing. I don't want my fingers in the way. Is that glaring on your monitor? They're laughing up in Los Alamos, I can see. Leader or manager? Or neither?
Well, probably not a manager. I mean, it's hard to tell, but if you're judging by most managers don't show that much skin, that much cleavage.
That
You
much
know,
skin?
that kind of,
Yeah, I understand.
it's hard to judge, but just from that.
Okay. When I saw this picture, which was the back cover of Fortune magazine, now think about it, that costs a lot of money. And I folded this the way I did, and we can go put the camera on me, we'll take Ray off of there. I folded it because it would identify her, and it's Katrina Garnett, who is the founder, president, and CEO of Crossworld Software. And she paid, the photographer is Richard Avedon, who's a New York-based photographer who was also extremely expensive. She deliberately posed in this sort of skimpy black dress that, and if you see any other pictures of her, she doesn't look quite this attractive. She's just a little bit more plain because of the way she chooses to do her hair and the type of clothing she wears. Here are a couple of backgrounds. Her age, she's younger than Bill Gates, but older than Michael Dell. This was Michael Dell, I think, that I showed you earlier. She was born on Australia's Gold Coast. Recent thrill, now I don't have the date here, so this is like about 6 or 7 years old. Flying 360-degree inverted loops in an SP-260 Marchetti. which is an airplane.